So how do you really transform a nation? I mean, not just with small adjustments here and there, but with a truly massive integrated vision. Well, today we're diving deep into a really ambitious manifesto that's designed to do exactly that for Bangladesh, a complete blueprint for national rejuvenation. This whole plan comes from a book called The Architects of Tomorrow. And you gotta understand, this isn't just a collection of nice ideas. It's presented as a detailed strategic roadmap, really designed to tackle some of the deepest, most difficult challenges the country is facing. In this quote from the preface, it really sets the tone for everything. The message is clear. This isn't about just pointing out what's wrong. It's about laying out a comprehensive blueprint for building a whole new future. It's a call to action. So, let's break down what this roadmap actually looks like.
All right, here's how we're going to walk through this. First, we'll unpack the core vision, the big idea behind this whole thing. Then, we'll see how it all starts on the ground, literally, with a revolution in farming. From there, we'll connect that to nourishing the nation, explore the high-tech future of agriculture, and finally, tie it all into the global climate economy. Let's get into it.
So, what's the main goal driving this entire plan? Well, it's framed as nothing less than a revolution for the rejuvenation of Bangladesh. Think of it like a complete reset, all aimed at unlocking the nation's true potential. And the ambition here is, well, it's sky high. The goal is to transform Bangladesh into a global example of progress, putting it on the same level as countries like Japan, Finland, and Singapore. And the path to get there, according to this plan, is to go head-to-head with systemic issues like poverty and corruption. So where does a massive transformation like this even begin? On the ground. I mean that literally. The very first pillar of this whole manifesto is a fundamental overhaul of the nation's agricultural sector. It's the foundation for everything else. And the plan kicks off with a huge investment in people. It calls for appointing 25,000 new agriculturalists all across the country. We're not talking about a small pilot project here. This is a nationwide mobilization of expertise, designed to drive change right from the grassroots level. This new workforce would then be backed up by a pretty smart, multi-layered strategy. The plan calls for creating specialized universities and local tech departments. But the real key is training farmers directly in food preservation and actually getting them the tools they need. The end goal is simple, really. Stop wasting crops and build a powerful farming industry. This whole strategy is actually packaged under one name, the Agriculture Industrialization Initiative, or DAFA-23. And that name really highlights the central theme here, using technology after the harvest to build a full-blown industry, moving way beyond just growing stuff. Now, a really critical part of this policy is financial independence. The plan is very explicit. It rejects following instructions from institutions like the World Bank and the IMF. Instead, it pushes for a domestic-first approach, where subsidies from the national budget go straight into the hands of farmers, no middlemen. But a revolution in agriculture isn't just about the economy or exports. It's about the health and the future of the people. So, the next piece of this plan directly connects this new farming foundation to the fight against malnutrition. And the problem is incredibly serious. Around 11 to 12% of children under 5 in Bangladesh suffer from wasting, which is a severe form of acute malnutrition. And this has just devastating long-term impacts on a child's development, both physically and mentally. The plan identifies a whole web of interconnected causes for this crisis. It's not just one single thing, but a really complex mix of poverty, a lack of access to the right kinds of nutrition and healthcare, and disruptions to essential services. So what's the proposed solution? Well, it's both educational and systemic. It calls for a massive awareness campaign, combined with a nationwide adoption of something called the Blue Zone Common Diet Plan. Now, if you haven't heard of blue zones, they're basically these regions around the world where people live exceptionally long, healthy lives. So this is a lifestyle approach focused on longevity, intended for everyone. Okay, so this isn't just about doing traditional farming better. A core piece of this whole vision is to leapfrog into the 21st century by plugging high-tech tools and innovation directly into the farms. We're talking about a full suite of smart farming technologies here. This means everything from drones and soil sensors to automated irrigation systems and advanced biotech seeds, like a type of salt-tolerant rice that's been developed just for local conditions. It even includes mobile apps to get critical information right into farmers' hands. One of the most powerful tools mentioned is AI-driven forecasting. So the idea is to collect huge amounts of data from satellites, drones, and sensors on the ground, and then feed all of that into one central model. This model could then predict crop yields, warn farmers about pest outbreaks, and even tell them the absolute best times to plant. And the tech doesn't stop at the farm gate. The plan calls for creating a strong international brand, made in Bangladesh, safe and fresh. And to build trust, products would have QR codes, which would let international buyers trace an item's entire journey, all the way from the farm right to their shelf.
Okay, now let's zoom out a bit. This entire domestic transformation is designed to connect with a major global issue, climate change. The plan actually outlines a strategy to not only protect the environment, but also to use that action to secure international funding.
The financial goal here is huge. The plan sets a target of securing about $10 billion from global climate finance initiatives. And this money is seen as a key ingredient for powering both green projects and the country's overall economic growth. So, how would they get that funding? The plan lays out a multi-pronged attack, massively expanding renewable energy, joining international partnerships like the JETP, developing future-forward tech like green hydrogen, and also pursuing natural solutions like afforestation. And when it comes to environmental protection at home, the message is completely uncompromising. This quote from the source material, talking about water resources and industrial pollution, it's stark and it's powerful. It basically signals a zero-tolerance policy, saying that industries that fail to treat their wastewater will just be shut down, period. So, at the end of the day, what we have here is a deeply interconnected vision. Agriculture, technology, health, and climate finance, they're all meant to work together. The architects of tomorrow is nothing if not ambitious, but it does leave us with a really critical question. Can a single, top-down, nationally directed blueprint of this scale actually work on the ground? Or does real, lasting change always have to bubble up from somewhere else?